Hello guys, my name is Amit Sani and I welcome you on this daily Hindu analysis video. In the morning these videos come, in the evening MCQ lessons they come. So in-depth analysis is the most important aspect of UPSC preparation. If you are sincerely preparing, then you can never miss even a single line of these articles. And the facts you are also getting from here, the topics you are also getting from here, and the ultimate discussion points which are going on in this world, which are the most important one. And as the syllabus says, nationally and internationally important things, that is those things are taken here. So do not miss these issues, and let's start the discussion here. Pocket News app is trending on Google Play. You can download that. Regarding these courses, the description is given below the video, and you can call on these numbers, and the chat section is available here on this website address. PDF you will get here on this Facebook group, and you will also get the Telegram channels link there. Okay, and you can follow me on Instagram too. Some words that I found today, you can use that. And first article is important regarding GS paper 2 and 3 both. Climate for action. A lot of issues are going on. International summits are going on. Meetings are going on, and all the country leaders are gathered. And recently we announced that we will take our aims forward in the renewable energy sector. We announced that from 175 gigawatt we will take it to 450 gigawatts, and it's a huge targets. In this world today, around 700 gigawatts are the production of the renewable energies and all, but we are making a goal of 450 gigawatt. Later means in upcoming years we will do that. So that's a huge thing. But on the sides of these commitments, international claims, and a good image making, you may say, because all the countries they are working in this area, but the sincerity remains questionable. Regarding India's steps, there is no question, and we have done a commendable job in the last 3-4 years, especially after the COP21 in 2015, the Paris Agreement. We have made important contributions. We have pledged a lot. We have given our intentions there, commitments there, and we are following things, and that's really great. I always say that in the solar sector, in the wind energy sector, in the renewable energy sector, we have done a lot of good things. But you see, I would surely say that advertisement is way more than the reality. That is also important, because some domestic issues are there. I'm not criticizing here anyway, but one thing I always believe in means, if there is some lack, if there is some problem within us, then we have to point it out. Means others will point it out. Before that, we should point it out. We should have a solution for that problem, so that there will be no point left where others will have a chance, and they will try to cancel our claims. They will try to derail the topics, and they will try to blame our country. So we have to think about our domestic issues first. All other countries, they also should do the same, but we cannot be responsible for their sincerity, their hard work, and their commitment toward those goals. We are not responsible, and we cannot do anything about that. What America does, we cannot say. What we can do, we will talk about that. So if there is any element of hypocrisy or any kind of ignorance is there, any kind of mismatch is there in our claims and our real work, then we will certainly point it out. And writer is doing the same. He is saying that there was a irony in this announcement, where Prime Minister telling the international community that we will take these renewable energy goals further. That means something. That means we will lower our dependence on the conventional fuels and coal and all, and we will go towards electric vehicles. These renewable energy targets, 450 gigawatt we will create. So more hydropower, more solar power, more wind energy. These kind of things we will have to appreciate, and we will have to invest a lot there. And in the water system, in particular schemes, we have pledged that we will invest $50 billion in upcoming years. So these are great things. But ironical thing is that in the same meeting, in the same announcement, Prime Minister told to the international community that we have allowed 100% FDI in coal mining. So that's really hypocritical and that's really controversial, because in the same speech you are saying that we are moving towards renewable energy. In the same speech you are saying that we are promoting the coal energy more and more. We will do more coal mining and we will produce more energy with the coal. So these things have a context. Means what Prime Minister was trying to say here, that was not wrong, because economic progress, we will show that we are making this much progress and we are becoming more and more capable. So that was the meaning of that. But that became controversial and ironical, because we were talking about the renewable energy target also. So as in Hindi we say that दोनों हाथों में लड्डू नहीं रख सकते हैं. So that means something. Means there was a platform of climate issue and we were trying to promote our renewable energy aspirations and those steps. So there you cannot promote the coal. That is the main issue. And some stages, some phases and some points are those where we cannot escape from some things. Like economic progress is must. If we really want to work for the climate change issue, then economic basis and the capacity basis is a must. So in that context we have to make progress, and without coal today, without conventional fuels today, we cannot make progress. Things will change gradually, but today we cannot make any progress without that. So that was in that context. But you see, you do not point out coal promotion where you are promoting the renewable energy promotion. So that was something like that. And here these things are then pointing out towards other lacks and other ignorances. Like in the coastal regulation zone notification, the amendment which was there, you allowed all these hoteliers and realtors and all. So that was really controversial. That was really problematic. If you really want to achieve ecological goals, then these things are contrary to that. And here promotion of coal and totally talking about the achievements in this coal sector, that will be contrary. So what it shows? It shows that there is a lack of strategy, a broader plan, a domestic action plan in these issues. Although we have NAPCC, National Action Plan on Climate Change, that was launched in 2008. So more than 11 years are gone, and this is an old plan now, and we need to revamp that. We need to adjust it according to the Sustainable Development Goal needs, because those aims were created 7 years later. So we have to change some things, we have to reform some things, and it lacks the legal foundation. So that is the basis. Legal foundation we must provide here. And second thing is the funding plan. On the national level and on the state level, there must be funding plans, and collectively for the states there must be a robust funding plan, so that communities can adapt to more important ways, and climate linked disasters, they are tackled well by states. That's the ultimate need today. Without these broad plans and without these broad strategies, we cannot achieve properly. The problem today we are observing in these solar sector, in the wind sector and renewable energy sector, or you may say e-vehicles sector, there is a lack of coordination, there is a lack of focus, there is a lack of a broader plan, and moving into one direction needs a lot, and those things are missing. Means we are claiming we are talking about a lot of things, but from above, if we see all these things, then things are more like a mess, and they are clashing with each other sometimes. In the same way, this coal promotion and the renewable energy promotion, they both are clashing with each other. So that's why this clash should not be there, and there must be a proper focus and a proper plan, where alongside these conventional fuels, till the time we do not go towards renewable energy ways 100% way, till then we have to organize these things, and more focus must be on the capacity building in the renewable energy sector, and we have to find new ways, and for that we need researchers, more and more researchers, and for that we need investments there. So those kind of proper investments we need to promote there, instead of these FDIs and all, those things will go. But as we are telling about our focus, then we cannot promote the coal FDIs. That is something that the writer wants to say here. So a lot is covered in this small piece of article, and the implications and the range is very, very broad here. So this article will be important for 2 and 3, because it's the issue of managing the issue, governance, and the legality, funding plans, and all these all things will be made by the government and the important bodies, and all the help will be taken by the experts, but these things are a ultimate responsibility of the government. And the issue of climate, the climate action, finding the balance, working in a strategical way, those things are taken in the GS paper 3. Next article is again unique and in a way problematic, and again ironic. How? Balakot Redux. You see, there is no problem in our approach, there is no problem in our strategy, there is no problem in our handling to the terror problems, there is no question on the capacity of the forces, there is no issue with the government's motive. But the media, here I would point out the media and the intention of the politicians. These two things are extremely relevant in this issue, where Army Chief Bipin Rawat's revelation that deeply worrying developments are happening again on again in Balakot area, where we striked, and it was a preemptive one, and we claimed a lot. Means we, before the elections, we put all our emphasis in the media on all these security issues, and as if we have won a war and we have destroyed all the motives, all the intention, all the future of these terrorists. This way we popularized this thing, and we gained confidence of the public, and they got all the votes, because this was the main agenda there before the Lok Sabha elections. Nothing else was discussed there. In the debates, it was all Pakistan, strike, security, ghar mein ghus ke marenge, all these things were prominent there. Now, today, they tell that more than 500 terrorists, they are ready to infiltrate into Kashmir, and these Balakot terror camps are again resurfacing, and they are starting to work again. And the presence of these infiltrators along the line of control, that had thickened. How that happened? Why that happened? We claimed a lot. We said that nothing is possible in the future. We have brought the best solution there. But at that time also, experts knew that these things are not the truth, the way they are popularizing it through the media. And these things will resurface again, because we know the intentions of Pakistan there. That is the handler, and ISI and the Pakistan army is the main culprit there, and they are arranging all these issues against India, and these camps will resurface very soon. Today, the geopolitics in that region, and all through the area of northern Pakistan, northern Afghanistan, all this area till Kashmir, that is extremely sensitive, and a lot of efforts they will make in this situation, where we have taken a great decision regarding the 370 issue, Kashmir's reorganization issue, and the 35A. And they know that many situations are contrary to Indian state today. People are also turning against Indian state because of huge amount of frustration is going on, and it's been more than 45 days that people are under restrictions, and we are not able to give them that normal freedom till date, because security concerns are there. And at that time, if we announce that 500 terrorists, they are ready to infiltrate into Kashmir, then it's really concerning. As I told you, there is no question about the might of our forces, their strategy or anything, but it is the media that is the main culprit. That why they mislead the public every time. In the last line of this article, the writer summarizes everything, and indirectly the intention is given here. You see the word here, elections in Haryana and Maharashtra. You see, since the term of Army Chief a lot of revelations are there, and many things were discussed in media, because those things were not that much common. These security issues were not that much common ever before, but for the last 2-3 years especially, these things have replaced all the important discussions in the media. So the problem is there with the media, and the nexus between the politicians and the media, that is the main concern here. Again, there is a huge concern that this issue of Kashmir and the fear that again some strikes may be there, and these infiltrators are ready, and some have entered the Indian territory. So these fears will be discussed a lot, and again they will derail some important discussions before the elections, and they will try to win the election again on these same issues. That is something that the writer wants to tell here. There is a very important point. For the sake of understanding, we need to understand all, but some things are unprecedented, that even the UPSC aspirants, they are discussing some very sensitive issues which are not the normal convention of the pattern that UPSC follows. But you saw a question came in the mains question paper, that biased media, how it is a threat for the Indian democracy. That thing tells us that why we need to discuss all these issues, because some media houses, they are crossing the line. Means this looks like a dramatic country, this looks like a foolish country according to their ways. The way they are trying to provoke the public, the way they are trying to put the emotional headlines every day, the way they are dividing people, the way they are destroying this nation, and apparently they are destroying this nation. That's why we need to discuss their act there, and that is why it is the unprecedented need to go into those kind of things. Otherwise, normally UPSC aspirants, they do not have to do anything with these kind of issues, and these kind of nexuses have been there, but some lines are being crossed, and this way we will certainly lose a lot in our country, in our democracy, and for the people. These things are really dangerous. The kind of developments in the society that we are observing, these things are all relevant to that. Means whatever army will have to do, that will do. People have nothing to do with those strategies, with those ways, or with those strikes or something like that. Means these are the tasks of the experts in the military, and they are all capable. What is the need of discussing these things in the public? What is the need? You discuss unemployment there, you discuss economy there, you discuss law and order situation there. Why you are discussing these strategies? Why you are discussing these important issues, and why you are trying to gain currency? And this is all a kind of a clear case of commitment to the political parties. That's really dangerous, and this is not the responsibility of the media. And this way, you can never call it the fourth pillar of the democracy. This pillar is really weak, and this way, at this corner, this democracy will certainly fall, and that's really dangerous. Next article, another chance in Afghanistan. Article of the day by Happymon Jacob. Important articles he always write, and his articles are mainly regarding these geopolitical situations, security issues, and during the Balakot strike, before the Pulwama also, he wrote some articles, and the similar things were unfolded. So that's why very important his articles are. He says Donald Trump's calling of Taliban peace talks is to India's advantage. An outreach to the outfit could secure it. Very true lines, because the way they called these talks off, that was really beneficial for India today, because we are till date in a way isolated in the matter, in this game. Pakistan, China, Russia, all are important stakeholders there, but we till date have very less to do in that game. We did not send our official there in those important meetings, and we stayed away. Even our Army Chief General Rawat said that we need to engage with Taliban there. We do not have to recognize that we need to engage there, and that was a justified line. But that is not the official stand of Indian state, and till date we are in a way aloof from that situation. And the issue is that we are the first country who will be vulnerable if Taliban makes a strong pitch there in the politics of that country, and certainly it is going to replace the Afghanistan's present government, and in election in the people's mind politically and fear wise, things are advantageous for Taliban today. It has created a lot of fear and its ways are not changed practically, and it is trying more and more fear politics there in Afghanistan. And after 18 years of war, this is again apparent that America is not able to win the war. So that thing is also really concerning. In one line, writer is saying that there is a huge question: is it going to be difficult for Taliban with all other groups to disturb India, where even if America is not able to win the war there, even America is again coming to the negotiating table, then will India save the situation there if any kind of problem is created in the near future? Really concerning question, really pertinent question, because after 18 years of war, and when America like country has focused on Taliban like groups, and it is not able to control their act, and they are not able to reinstate a proper government there, means the government is there but practically it has no power, it has no authority, and just nominally, ceremonially they are there, and practically Taliban is ruling Afghanistan, that's for sure. There are a few areas where Afghanistan government and its forces they are controlling the situation, but most of the part is under Taliban's control. So there is a reason that we have got a chance here when these talks were called off. Now, as I told you that the Americans they are coming again and again on a negotiating table, and that's really concerning. So what implications does the cancellation of US-Afghan talks have for the volatile South Asian region in general and for India in particular? So you do not need to change this line, and as it is, this is a very important mains question. You should write this answer in 300 words. Because South Asian region is extremely volatile because of this Afghanistan situation, and India in particular. As I told you, we have taken a big decision regarding Kashmir, and a lot of frustration is there in the common public. That is also known, very much known to Pakistan, and it is known to Pakistan means it is known to these all groups. And today, in a frustrating state, Pakistan can go to any extent to disturb India, and certainly it will take the help of these groups, and Taliban is the iron sword for Pakistan today. In the 90s, when Taliban flourished, it was all the help of ISI and Pakistan's military. So they were the key help to raise Taliban there, and how it practiced very stringent Sharia law there in Afghanistan, how they killed people on the street, and how it was devastating for the females in that country. Those things are unforgettable. But the same Taliban is rising here, and their ways are not different. Still they are attacking people, and on a daily basis they are killing many innocent people, but still they are claiming that we are a changed Taliban and we are way more liberal on the questions of girls, their education, and some other ways, and the laws that we are gonna execute there. So these things are a total change, but we need to check those claims, because it is not possible to believe Taliban today, and the way they are continuing, those things are no different from the 90s situation. And today they are way more powerful, confident, and politically stable, and a great war in a sense they have won, and America is not able to win this situation, and that raises the confidence of Taliban 100 times. So here, what is the present situation? Implications, if we see in Afghanistan there, then direct fallout of the American pullout from the negotiations is more bloodshed in the country. Means if this deal would have been possible in this present state, then there would have been a lot of bloodshed in the country. And although the bloodshed is going on a daily basis, they are killing people. On an average, they are killing around 40-50 people daily, and that's really, really dangerous. But more bloodshed would have been there because Taliban is at its peak of the confidence. So they would do a lot to create their dominance more and more fear. They would have tried here. But now, what's going to happen? September 28th is the elections date, and that will be possible. And we are supporting that anyway, these elections must held, and they should be very, very safe. People should believe in the government there, and the democracy must be reinstated there. That is the need of the hour. And let's see what's going to happen there. But the larger question is that question that should concern the Afghan people is whether the Taliban is a changed lot or not, because they are making a lot of assertions that they are much evolved group, but we do not see this thing practically. Next issue is the most important issue. What it means for India. As I told you, first let's see the geography there. We have a 80-kilometer boundary touch with Afghanistan, although it is POK, but if something happens in POK, Kashmir is vulnerable. So Afghanistan there, these Hindu Kush ranges and all these difficult terrain there where all these terror groups are active. So it is not far away. If Taliban becomes stronger, then it means surely that the nexus will be created between these groups. Like the IS is active in this region, they have claimed a blast there, and Jaish-e-Mohammed, Lashkar-e-Taiba, they all can come together, and Kashmir will be the next target there, because Pakistan will support, the Pakistan's military will support, and they are going through a lot of frustrations, and the media is again a kind of a troublemaker for both the nations, because the way they are mocking and the way they are insulting, although things are really bizarre and funny about Pakistan, the way they are reacting is funny, but the provocation should be the least. But that is not the case, as we saw a recent example where Imran Khan was mocked again for that embarrassing situation where nobody came to welcome him and a simple doormat was put there. So these things are okay, but we do not need to be concerned much about these silly things, and we should not laugh every time on these things, because we have larger goals here. We need to focus a lot on our situation and what problems our rogue state can create for us. That is more concerning for us. More frustrated Pakistan means more problems it may create, because the intentions will extremely negative and they will be intensified, and more intensified negative emotions means they will try to take help from these groups, and those will be activated here. And as I told you, the army chief said that 500 infiltrators are ready. What that means for us? It means problems for India, because this is not a direct war. These are infiltrators, and it is very tough to control these kind of people. It is very tough to fight these kind of people, because these are hidden attacks. So how do you get assured about a situation where no threat is there? You cannot be assured, and when these kind of threats are there, then always our soldiers' life, they are at stake. So that is why the media's role is extremely foolish, I would say. I do not know what Pakistan's media say. I do not know what kind of insult Imran Khan is having in UN and all. We are not concerned much, but we are concerned that what responsibility we have, what are the issues that we should concern about, and we should not create additional problems for us. We have to solve this issue bilaterally, and this is announced again and again by India, and this is all supported by other countries too. But we should lower our problems. We should not create additional problems for us. And in the end, Pakistan's intentions are clear. But you see, more problems with Pakistan means more frustration it will have, and it will go towards becoming a totally rogue nation, and that will create only problems for India. So that's why it is an unfortunate situation for this country, India, and it is unfortunate that we have a neighbor of this kind, and ultimately we have to engage here. We have to fulfill that responsibility, and at some times even we need to help Pakistan to overcome all these problems, because more problems means more issues with India, and because this is not a direct war, and that is why it is very difficult for India. So this means an extremely sensitive future, especially in the Kashmir region for India. If Afghanistan situation is lost, if Taliban triumphs here and Taliban wins, means Pakistan wins in Afghanistan, because Taliban is all created by Pakistan's military and ISI. So that is why in these times there is no exhaust for Pakistan to release this frustration, and that would be a great reason if Taliban wins there. So that is why it is very, very necessary that an extremely calibrated and a properly negotiated deal happens here, and in no case there is a no deal exit of US troops. Otherwise it will be a chaotic situation, and India will be the first target of this region, that's for sure. And we have a ready situation of Kashmir for those terror groups, and because they do not engage in open war and a direct war, and they do these cowardly acts, and that's why it will be a very problematic phase for India. So we need to be very much concerned, and that is why the engagement is very, very necessary for India. We do not have to recognize Taliban and its power, if it is any. We do not have to recognize anything, just we need to engage there for the sake of our interest. That is a suggestion by many experts, and here by Epimon Jacob also. So that is all, and it's very important article. I have told you everything. You can write a very important answer there. Okay. And as in the starting I told you that this question remains: if a superpower like the US can be pushed out of Afghanistan by the Taliban, and with the help of Pakistan there, certainly, would it be too difficult to beat India for these people, for this nexus, the Pakistan's military, ISI and these terror groups? Would it be very difficult to beat India? But it is not something beating in a war. It is beating the interest there for India. Means by these cowardly acts, can they disturb India? This is the meaning of this line. So that may be a possibility. So that is why we need to be very, very concerned. Okay, and is the argument doing the rounds among sections of aggrieved Kashmiri youth? That is also very sensitive, because Kashmiri youth, they are under a lot of stress, and you see, problem of the youth is that they do not have much experience, and they can be provoked very, very easily, and by the negative elements they can be provoked very easily. So that's why a huge concerning situation is there for India. So have this insight extremely clear in your mind, and these discussions regarding Kashmir, they are extremely important, and that is why the series of articles which came after 5th of August, please go through all of them. These issues will be very, very relevant next year. Here, defeated, discredited and diminished. How? You see, this is the issue of Britain, and we are not much concerned about that directly, but indirectly some consequences can be there, but those will be discussed after this issue is settled, because today this issue is not settled at all, and a lot of disturbances are going on. Theresa May lost its prime ministership only with this move, and then the Trump of UK, Mr. Boris Johnson, as it is said popularly, when he came, then some bizarre situations are developing, and he tried to prorogue the parliament for 5 months, and he said that anyway, no deal or no deal, the Brexit will happen till 31st of August for sure. And before that, this decision to prorogue the parliament, it has caused a constitutional earthquake there, and it's a big bomb on his politics when he is away there in America. And this decision has come by the Supreme Court of Britain, where 11 judges unanimously they decided to cancel this decision there, and they said that this is totally unconstitutional, unjustified, and this is a foolish decision, and they quashed this decision by Mr. Boris Johnson. Now we have to see, because for India it is a wait and watch situation, and certainly it is a very difficult political phase for Mr. Boris Johnson, who just came on this position there, and it was already controversial, and again it will remain controversial. Many options they have explored earlier also, where his office and his lawyers, they had suggested that if the prorogation was struck down by the court, then we might prorogue a second time also, but on a different and other lawful grounds. But today these grounds are totally unjustified, and in an unprecedented way and in a very stern and strong way, the Supreme Court of Britain, they quashed this move. So we have to see what goes on. We have to deal with the European Union, we have to deal with UK, and all this disturbance is going on. Free trade agreement and other important agreements are stuck there, and we both need to move forward, but these things are not possible because of this Brexit issue. So how much time will be taken there, and how many months more will be lost here, we have to see. But the issue will be settled hopefully after October. So there will be many more articles, and the consequences for India, those will also be there. Next article by Sujata Bravan. It is very important issue regarding agroecology and the zero budget natural farming. First of all, we need to understand what is zero budget natural farming. Zero budget means without using any credit, and additional budget is not required, means the heavy financing is not required, without spending any money on purchased inputs, that is not there. And natural farming means all organic farming with all traditional ways, and natural manure and all these things are used, and without chemicals they are gonna grow the crops there. It's a challenging thing, but this model was suggested by Mr. Subhas Palekar, and that is going on, and it is recognized by FAO, IPCC and other important NGOs there. So it's a very effective way, and it is challenging the interest of the lobbyists there. These people who are having businesses in seed industry, fertilizer industry, and all these powerful elites who have a hold, and they have actually hijacked the agriculture sector in a way. So their interests are challenged by this move, and they will never let it go, and they will never promote these ways, because these are sustainable ways, and they do not need any money, they do not need any fertilizer, they do not need any chemical and machinery and all. So if that would be possible, and if the whole world, whole countries, they will try to apply these things, they will try to produce the crops without their chemicals and machines and all, then they will be devastated. And they have earned billions of dollars in the last 4-5 decades, especially after the green revolution. So they will never let it go, and they will try to crush these ways in all possible means. That is a problem. But you see, more and more privatization we are observing there, and it's a kind of a argument that is being popularized in this country, that government sector is not working, it is not giving any output, and the private sector is way more efficient. But we always forget that private sector works only for their profit. They do not want to fulfill the social responsibility there, and they will never think about the farmers or the public at all. So government has to take this responsibility, and they will have to promote those ways where with the minimum help, minimum finances, farmers are able to grow crops, and they are getting a good benefit there, because today they are devastated. They are not even getting their inputs back. Heavy amounts of fertilizers, chemicals, pesticides they are using, and those are expensive ones, and after the production they are not getting their output back. Extremely huge crisis this is, and it all looks like it's all intentional. We know the industrial farming is coming, and maybe it is to support this corporate farming ways, industrial farming ways, and intentionally this is done, that farmers are deeply hurt, they are totally disappointed, and nobody would take up farming there. So what's going to happen ultimately? We need food security, so all these private players, they will come there, and they will try their hand there, and they will certainly capture this area, because it has a consistent approach. Everybody eats. It's the food we need 3 times a day. So if these big corporateers and these big giants or these powerful elites, if they capture agriculture in a 100% way, then it will be a fortunate thing for them, and it will be devastating thing for the people. And more giants are coming, and you see some people, means a few elites, they are becoming so strong that they have all the capacity. They can invest in any kind of business, and they can capture any market. They can capture any kind of sector there. So if the food sector and the finances sector, as we all know, the banking is being targeted there. So if these basic sectors, they are targeted by these powerful elites, then nothing will be there left in our hands. So we need to be very careful about that. Normal public need to support these sustainable ways and the cheap ways where production is there. These things are certified. These things are a great solution for the future. These are eco-friendly solutions. Just they're meeting the interest of these elites. So we need to understand this issue, and the government, they have to support this. And this is a great parameter to evaluate the government's motives, whether they support the these powerful elites there, or they support the farmers there, or the public there, because farmers' interest is the public's interest. So that's the issue. And zero-based budget natural farming is the ultimate solution. And Mr. Palekar is the prominent person who popularized this idea. He proposed this thing, and we have to focus on these kind of solutions, because they are helpful in soil health management, they are helpful in biodiversity management, they are helpful in the agroecological aspect, and the agroforestry is also supported by that. And there is a mutual benefit, means the tree cover is rising, and the ecology is balanced, and we are having the security in the food needs. So that's a beneficial thing. And you see the dangers of the genetically modified crops, these are also kept on the edge, because these companies, like many examples are there, like the genetically modified crops which are popularized by these big giants, these companies like Monsanto and other companies. We have seen many examples, we have seen many cases in Britain, in America, where these researchers and these scientists, they said that these may cause a lot of dangers for humans if they are consuming the genetically modified crops. But these people, these powerful elites, they created nexuses, and they targeted those scientists, researchers who said something about that, and they suppressed all the truths. The similar case we saw with regarding to the Monsanto case. So they are heavily dependent on these chemicals, fertilizers, pesticides, and the next move is the genetically modified issues. We have seen disasters in the case of the GM crops like BT cotton and all. So these companies, they will capture everything, and they would never want that the solution, sustainable solutions are there. They would always demand that dependence remains with their businesses, and the food security is the aspect that they will make it available to the public. Sustainable ways will not bring the food security. Even they popularize these kind of ways that food security is not possible without our help. So that is why these elites are dangerous for the food security also, and these elites are dangerous for the future of agriculture also. So we need to manage all those issues. I'm not saying all of them are problematic and all are adopting unethical ways, but the competition is very bad, and it is all the profit earning that they are targeting for. And the problem is that most of them, they do not care about the world or the people's health. That's the issue. So this is all for today. We will meet again tomorrow. Thanks a lot. Keep watching. Keep following the MCQ lesson also in the evening. So thanks a lot.